Okay, so I've got an app that I'm in process of building or semi-building. I haven't decided if I'm going to finish it or not, but I've got a component which has got conditional visibility of a column depending on user choice of the choice chips, and I thought I have never used the generate with AI option in Flutterflow, so I am going to ask the AI to rebuild this component, do a duplicate of it so to speak, and see how it performs, because I've never used it. Some other people may have used it, so I thought it would be an interesting experiment. So let's put a prompt in and see what it can do. So we'll click on the generate with AI option, and we want to build a component, and basically obviously I've already got this component finished, so none of these sliders do anything at this point, but I'm actually going to ask the AI to include some code expressions, so hopefully we can set those automatically rather than having to do it manually. So that's really the thing, but really I'm just an experiment to see if I can recreate what I've done, so I already know what I want, which I suppose helps. So if we describe the component we want to create, so I'll create a prompt. Okay, so I've created a prompt. I will go through it now. Unfortunately, you can't make this window any bigger or move it for that matter, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully that's something Flutterflow will fix, because if you can expand the window out so you can actually see what you're doing better. Now obviously I already know what I want, so if you are going to use this, it's probably better to plan in beforehand what it is you actually want it to do. I've tried to make the instructions reasonably detailed by keeping it concise and also without literally telling it everything, because if you write too much of a prompt you might as well just do it yourself, as most of it's drag and drop anyway. So let's see what happens. So we've got, basically we want component, want choice chips with the text deposit and withdrawal, 2 conditional columns in a stack, because that's what we've got in this here component, 2 columns there, conditionally visible in a stack, and then we want a component state variable to show them, and we're saying based on the variable value which one's going to be shown, and then we're saying we want some sliders with some labels as text objects. I've changed the labels, which I'll do on this anyway, but I've changed labels these may change anyway, but just to make it a bit more gamified I suppose. And then we want a button, and at the bottom there I've just said about, oh, that needs to be chimney stack. I don't know if that's about chimney, but I guess I can also do that afterwards. And then so at the bottom here we've said we want an apply button, and we're going to update some app state variables with code expressions based on the value of the sliders. I haven't set the parameters for the sliders like I've done here, because you can just do that manually. It takes sort of 2 minutes to do. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to click go. I've never done this before, so it'd be interesting to see what the answer is. I haven't asked it to put an image at the top again, that's just so easy to do, so there's no need to do that. So I'll click go, see what it comes back with. I've never used it before, and let's see how close it gets to what it is I think I'm looking for. Okay, so that took about, I don't know, 30 seconds. So we can choose the colour system, which I'll stick with the standard. Obviously I'm not convinced by, what does that do? That's just generating it. I thought we'd already generated it. Okay, we'll insert components. Then we've got those both. Okay, so let's insert component and see what happens. Component name. So I know to delete it. We'll give it a 3 because I have no idea. Is that inserted? Okay. So I've got the sliders. We've got the stack. We've got the columns. They are not conditionally visible. Okay, so it didn't understand that bit. We have got the choice chips. Did it create? It did not create a component state variable. Okay, and then there's no actions on the button. That's interesting. So basically, I gave that 3 stars. I actually should have just given it 1. To be fair, I didn't ask for it how to colour the container, which obviously you can do yourself. So if we have primary background, changing these to conditional is easy enough to do, and inserting the variable to do so, and then the code expressions I was going to do manual anyway, but I just wondered if it would do it automatically, and obviously it didn't do any of that. So that's the one I am currently working on, and that's what AI has generated from that prompt. So interesting. Would I use that? Well, I wouldn't use that, obviously. Would I use the AI thing? That's a very good question. Probably not. And the reality of it is, building simple components, simple pages, really doesn't take very long at all. Building the actual user interface with drag and drop doesn't take that long. It's certainly, by the time I've thought out a prompt and I knew exactly what I wanted because I've already got it, so all I did was kind of wanted to do something like this, and I was already looking at it as I was typing it. It didn't take me long, but by the time you've actually maybe sketched out or considered what type of component you want to build and ask the AI to generate it, and then you've then got to go and make it look like how you envisaged it after the AI has done its thing, I don't really see the point of using it. You may as well just do it yourself because it won't take that much longer and you're keeping track of what you're doing much better. Maybe I've used it wrong, maybe my prompt wasn't good enough, but again, if you're spending that much time on a prompt, for something like this, you may as well do it yourself. If you're making massively complicated pages, would it be quicker? I don't know, because the more complicated the page, the more complicated the prompt, the more chance it has of getting it wrong. That's my experience with AI anyway. So that's a very quick, interesting experiment. It did generate exactly what I asked it to do for the most part, except it didn't. You know, it's got the stack, it's got the choice chips, it's got the columns and all the text and the sliders. I think I maybe prefer the way this is done it. I may change these to actually be next to each other rather than above like that. So it did everything I asked it to do, except it didn't add any functionality to it, didn't add the variable, and it didn't add the conditional visibility, and it didn't add anything to do with the button what I asked it to. But other than that, it did do it, but you may as well build it yourself, in my opinion. So that's that. It's a very quick experiment. I've never used it before. I probably will try it again, and I'll maybe post something about it, but it'd be interesting to know how you have got on with it, if you use it, what kind of experience you've got with it, and you can let me know that down below, because I'm really interested in this, because Flutterflow seems to go massively down the AI route also with this, and also with Dreamflow, which I did a video on last week. So yeah, hopefully that was interesting. It certainly was for me, and I will speak to you in the next video.